If there's something that is definitely a constant in our life, it's change. And the speed of change is not letting up. As a leader, we need to be able to take people through that change and help them to be as unscathed as possible. The way people look at change can determine whether or not taking them through it will be successful. So stick with me, because this week I want to continue this conversation and help you to be able to lead people well in these times of change. Hi, this is Grant Herbert, VUCA Leadership and Sustainable Performance Coach. And today I want to continue our conversation in the 10 competencies of relationship management, a part of social intelligence, by helping you to be the change. Even the word change, when it's spoken, can have an effect on people's brain and bodily functions. Change to some people is a bad thing. And even any mention of things going outside the current status quo gets them in a position where they feel uneasy. They disengage and their productivity goes down. You've seen it. And in fact, it could even be something that happens to you. Change is inevitable, and it's not something that we're able to control. However, it is something as a leader that we are able to mitigate and lessen the effect of in our team by doing some simple things. As I said, language is important, and the word change is something that can be a trigger for some. So what I like to do is shift the word. Instead of using the word change, what I might do is say, let's tweak this a little bit. Let's adjust things. Let's go down this way for a while and see where it leads us. It may sound like linguistic semantics, but in fact, it's powerful, because if the word change has a particular connotation and a hold on people, using a different word is going to see a different result. So, what can you as a leader do to be the change? Last week, we talked about inspirational leadership and the fact that people will do more of what you do than what you say. So being the change rather than just telling them what to change is going to have a much different effect on the success of what it is that you're trying to do. So what I want to do is give you some things this week that you can consider and implement so that you can be a leader that is going to be able to help others to go through change, where you're going to be a catalyst of change. And instead of working with change that's forced upon you, you're going to anticipate change and be able to get the results that you need, even in this volatile, uncertain, complex, and ambiguous world that we're operating in right now. So how do you do this? Well, the first thing is to make sure that the change doesn't start with a list of tasks. It doesn't start with the what. It must start, as the leader, with understanding the why. So why is this change important is one part of it. At a deeper level, why is the change a good thing? Firstly, for yourself, and convincing yourself of that, and then being able to communicate that to the individuals within your team as well. So the first thing we need to do as a leader is create the climate that we need so that the change can take place. This is all about a sense of urgency, building a coalition of people that are wanting to get involved. It's about casting a vision of where we're going and making sure that everybody is involved in that vision, so that they are looking through their lens of what it is that they're wanting to achieve, rather than just that one single lens of what you want them to do or what the organization needs from the change. So create an atmosphere where people are excited about the change, where it's not a matter of dragging them, kicking and screaming. They are involved. You've got the right people in the right positions within the change. You've got advocates that are working with you and who are speaking highly about the change. All these things will mean that when you actually get into the logistics and the processes of the change, it's going to go a lot more smoothly and you're going to get results faster. The next thing to do is to engage and empower. We talked about the why being really important, and engaging each and every person that's involved in the change in why this change is going to help them. What's in it for them? Getting them to a position where you've inspired them to be motivated to make the change. Empowering them with everything that they need. And the first thing they need to do is have an understanding. So communicate with them so that you can get that buy-in. Answer their questions, alleviate their fears and shift their mindsets so that they are ready to be who they need to be to go through the change. Empower them for action. Get started quickly and celebrate quick wins. Give them things that they can do that's going to get a result. So rather than just looking in a dichotomy of this is where we are and this is where we want to go, it's a matter of going, no, this is where we're going today. And then celebrating those wins. When people get success, even though it's small, they can see that they can take the next step. So in this environment that you've created for the change, make sure that everyone is empowered to be who they need to be and to do the things that they need to do so that they can take the next step and then the next one and then the next one. And eventually you get to where it is that you need to go. And the third thing is to implement your strategy and then sustain it. This is all about consolidating the successes, those small wins. It's about communicating why those wins are important. It's about looking at the things that we did differently to get those small wins so that we can then continue to do those same things. It's making sure that we anchor that change, that people see this as something that we do from now on. It's just not something that we did. And make sure that the environment continues beyond the ticking of the box of we made the change. Because change is not a destination, it's a journey. So we need to continue to be who we were on the way to the change. We need to continue to do the things that we were doing so that that change is sustainable over the long term. Now we know that another change is probably around the corner. And what we learnt from this whole process of going through this last change, we'll be able to employ to give us that momentum to continue into whatever change is ahead of us. Leading change is all about inspiring yourself and empowering yourself and getting your mindset right on who you need to be so that you can make the change, and then allowing that to be communicated out to others, giving them what they need to be able to make the change, alleviating any fears that they have, and creating an environment where everyone is working together towards this new common goal. Change is not going to stop. In fact, things are going to change even before this goes to air. However, what isn't going to change are those foundational psychological understandings that we have of the human being, how they look at things, how they make things that have happened around them mean certain things. So the change itself is just the what. The whole why and the how is around being able to help people to remove the roadblocks, to see themselves as already having changed, and then to take away that fear of the word change. Well, that's it from me for another week. Join me again next week as we continue to go through these 10 competencies of relationship management by helping you to understand how you can build stronger bonds. I'll see you then.